so glad you're here. My name is Joey and I am back with another video with one of the 2 boxes that I get every month directly from the Czech Republic. The first box I did this bracelet out of, and it is called Czech Beads Exclusive. And this month it was just stunning, packed with hearts in a variety of blues, silvers, golds, pinks, reds, and I picked out like my favorite hearts and did this little heart, romantic heart charm bracelet. If you missed this video, I can put a link in the description box so that you can see it. The other box that I get from them every month is called Bohem style, and this one is different. It is a DIY kit with a video link in the description, in the insert, not the description box. I'm so used to saying description box, but on the insert that comes with the box, there is a link that takes you directly to a full video tutorial on how to create the 2 pieces, and all of the ingredients are in the box for those 2 pieces of jewelry. But if you get the box and you're like me and you just like to do your own thing, believe me, the bead police are not going to come and arrest you for doing your own thing with your bead box. So you have that option with that great box. You can either make what they have designed all the ingredients for, or you can do your own thing. So I generally do my own thing. I have decades of jewelry making experience, and I love the handiwork, but I love the designing. So in my first video, I started out, actually, let me start with the earrings. I started out to make these really gorgeous earrings, and guys, they are not difficult. I know that they look a bit involved, but they are truly not difficult, and I did a step-by-step instructions in the video. So if you like these, I really think you could make them pretty much at any skill level. The only thing that was challenging, I think, was maybe the spiral, and maybe if you're struggling with wire wrapped loops, but even that, this is all basic jewelry techniques. But in this video, I had so much fun. When I was finished with these, I was thinking, oh, I want to make 10 more pairs of them. So I did go off camera and do a pendant to match. I elongated my downward rods here, my components that I made, just to make the pendant a little bit chunkier. And this box is filled with blue and green and copper, and so I just alternated the same bead in the green for the pendant. There was a focal bead in the box which I used, and I did not have a decorative copper head pin, so I went into my stash and I just used a little Tibetan spacer and a ball head pin, and it kind of gives the look of a decorative head pin. And I did double spiral on the pendant where I only did a single on the earrings. But I love the design. I think you'll be seeing more of this type of thing because I had so much fun doing it. But this got me to thinking that I need a bracelet. I have earrings, a pendant, and I need a bracelet. So in the box, there was this beautiful, very hefty, it's got a nice weight to it, curb chain, copper curb chain. And there were more of these beads. And so I am going to do a super simple, pretty quick bracelet project here. Just making components. It's going to be a beaded chain in essence, or a rosary chain if you call it that. And there were even these beautiful rings in the box. And I don't know if that's going to, I was thinking that I might use it, but I also want to do some star dangles, and this is going to be my final drop on my chain, and this bracelet will be fully adjustable. I love this style of bracelet, and I do this also when I'm creating anklets because you can make them tighter or looser. You can, you know, have wearability. And if you sell your jewelry or if you need gifts, something that doesn't have to be an exact size is really a great thing. So I'm going to be using my Softflex non-tarnish copper craft wire in the 20 gauge. And I've already cut just a few pieces to get me started. And if you have been on my channel before, I'm sure that you will see this as a repeat, because I always say to smooth, warm, and straighten your wire when you're doing any kind of wire work. And I'm going to be doing simple loops with my 2 1/4 millimeter one-step looper. When I'm doing a piece where I have to have a lot of loops, I love the consistency without too much effort. It is like effortless loops, but also I love that it doesn't make my hand hurt because I make a lot of jewelry. I make a lot of jewelry every day actually, and I do have a problem with my hand, so this tool is great for not flaring up pain in the hand. And if you'll notice, when I have a lot to make, I don't put the tool down. I just swing it out of my way and make my components, and I'm pretty quick at them. The one-step looper always makes the loops. Well, if you're right-handed, this tool is available for a left-handed person. You just have to make sure you read, which one you're getting. But it always makes the loops going upward. And on this project, I want my loops to all be going the same direction. Sometimes I do them in the opposite direction, but I'm just going to feed the wire through the guide hole. And you'll see on different shaped beads, you will have a little bit different positioning, but most of the time I don't want my bead to be too tight against the front jaw of the plier because it makes a fresh cut for you there. So that's a step you don't have to do with your cutters, but it also needs a bit of space as it then wraps the loop. So I'm going to go slowly, so if you're new to this, you can see. And if you're struggling with loops, this might be the thing. So I've stopped closing here because I can see that I'm putting pressure on my bead, and this gives me a chance to pull this down out of the way as I continue closing. And I can also see that this loop is now centered on the wire with the other loop. If I feel that there's too much stress, I stop closing. I can finish the loop with my pliers, but I need to open and close all of these anyway to make my beaded chain. So I'm not even going to worry about tidying up the loop or work hardening it. I'm just going to keep going. So I'm going to do the same thing to this lineup here of beads. These are all from the Bohem style, January 2025, and it's just a beautifully curated box. Now on the star beads, they are 5-point stars, and in this box we did get a beautiful little package of seed beads, and I do intend to use those. And I have 3 stars in my stringing pattern, so I'm going to alternate the point when I connect them. So in other words, let me get this one. Show you. I'm going to thread this on. I'm just flanking the little star, copper stars with those seed beads, and I'm going to put another simple loop in this side. And you do have to be careful, like even with seed beads, although like I said, depending on the shape of your bead, a square, flat, table cut bead is going to go in the tool a little bit differently than small round beads or seed beads. But you can see when I started to close, it automatically made a little bit of space there. It makes that cut. I'm still going to do the same thing, pull my beads away from the jaw of the plier. And now that loop is perfectly lined up with the other one, but if it ever becomes misaligned, use the tool as kind of a plier at this point and just straighten everything with another pair of pliers. And when I take it away, my loop is done. So when I connect this, I am going to alternate the point of that star, then the open part in between the 2 points on here, and then I'll do this one facing that way. So I'm just going to get all these simple loop components made. It'll just be a second for you. Okay, that is my last component, and sometimes when I make these bracelets, I will connect with jump rings, but I did the medium-sized loops, the medium-sized one-step looper, because I think I just want to connect these to each other. And also I didn't want beads to go all the way around my bracelet. I wanted it to be about 2/3 of the way beads, and then I want the chain with some dangles to complete my length. So I'm just going to connect these components, hence beaded chain, rosary chain. I'm just going to go down and connect them in the order I have them laid out here. So this is where I'm making sure that my simple loops are closed really well, and with some force opening and closing my pliers to work harden, and that's where you can also see that I'm directing the 5th point toward each other on this section, and then when I get here I'll flip this one in the opposite direction, and it's just like becomes part of the pattern. So as I work my way down my beaded chain, I'm just going to make sure that every one of those loops looks great. Okay, let me see how I'm doing with length. That is about as long as I would want it, so I am not going to use this ring. I actually was just playing with it just for like the geometry, just for like the architecture of it, but I think I'm not going to use the ring. And I am going to use one of the lobster claw clasps that came in the kit. And also there were, I still have it out here, I still have the findings out here, the little extender chain, and there's 3 sizes of jump rings. So I'm going to make use of those for finishing this off, but I'm just going to decide on my extender chain length here. And the cool thing about this chain is that the links are not solid, so you can open them and you don't have to lose a link. So I think that I'm going to do about maybe 3, 6, 9, maybe 10 links. So I'm going to open this one. This is such a nice, thick, sturdy chain. I wish you could feel the weight of it. It just was really a nice addition to our box. And then I'm going to put that right on my last loop and make sure that link is closed really well. And then my little drop that I made has a jump ring on it, but I want it to really dangle, so I'm going to take one of the tiny little jump rings that was in the box and add it on with another jump ring. I love jump rings. It's another thing in jewelry design like seed beads that's small and seemingly unimportant and unimpressive, but they do so much in your design. So it just gives like a little extra dangle on the end. And then I want to, on this end, put my lobster claw clasp, and I think I will use one of these medium size jump rings. And I'll show you, if you haven't seen this design before, how wonderful this is as far as adjustability. Like I said, with a little extra extender chain, this could even be an anklet. So then when you put it on, you just put it so that the chain is laying over your wrist, and this is what makes it adjustable. Your lobster claw clasp can hook into any spot, so you can make it a looser bracelet, you can clasp it up here and make it a tighter bracelet. I just absolutely love this style of a bracelet, and again, for gifts or for selling, it is absolutely wonderful. So I am going to take some little copper ball head pins, and I'm going to make a couple of dangles, just really repeating what's in my stringing pattern. I think I want the ball to go in between the 2 odd points like that, and have my loop at the top of the star. And then I'm just going to make a simple loop here. Just do this one with my pliers. I'm going to do it really small because I'm going to use those small jump rings again to attach it as a little dangle on my chain. So the way I do mine, take my little tool off my thumb. The way I do mine, it looks like I'm starting to do a wire wrapped loop. I'll rotate that out of the way and pull my wire around and just center it. So just it looks like I'm ready to do a wire wrapped loop. But at this point, I will come in with the flush side of my flush cutters and just snip right there, and then just tidy up my loop after I open it and attach. So I get a really good little simple loop, and I'm going to do a little tiny jump ring as well for both of these. So let's see, same thing on this side, seed bead, star and seed bead. Okay, that one is done. I'm gonna fix this one as well. Just my final closing and work hardening. And then I'm just gonna come to my little extender chain with these two really small jump rings. And just choose a couple of spots to add it. I'll add one on the third ring from the bead, and I'll come a couple down on the opposite side. I'll show you on a curb chain, there's kind of a left and right to the links. So this one is laying on my right. So I'll come like right about here and hang it on the left side. I like this because my extender chain has a charm bracelet effect, a little dangle section. So one star on the left, one star on the right, and this beautiful bracelet to go with my pendant and my earrings in the blues and greens and coppers. Just so beautiful, and I just love the way they curated this box. The little starburst in the middle of each tile bead and then adding in the copper stars is just absolutely beautiful. I have that little, it's a little bit busy with my other bracelet that I'm wearing today, but this can clasp anywhere, and I have a beaded chain, I have a charm bracelet, I have a beautiful dangle. It's just a really fun, fast, sweet way to make a project. So if you ever just feel like you need to do something with your hands, this is a great design. So simple, but I just couldn't put these beads away without doing a bracelet. So check the description box. I always list my favorite tools for those of you that are still gathering up your jewelry tools, and I will put links to the Craftica company. This box, these beads are from their Bohem style box, but these beads were from their Czech Beads exclusive. They are two separate subscriptions, and I'll put links to this video as well. And I hope everybody will subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, tap the bell notification, you know, all the things, because I have a pretty rigorous video schedule, and I have some really special things coming to my channel in 2025. So I thank you so much for watching. I hope everybody's safe and well and having fun on your beading mats. Ciao, friends.